Good evening and welcome to Weekend Update. I'm your host, Eric Farmer. Today is Saturday, August 15th, 2026. Summer is rapidly winding down. Much cooler here this week. Getting some rain the last few days. Actually, some pretty heavy rain we had today. And yesterday we had a deluge, you might say. An absolute cloudburst we had yesterday was, man, I got stuck out driving in it, and yeah, it was pretty bad. Could hardly see where I was going. It was raining so damn hard. I swear to God, I saw cats and dogs. It was literally raining cats and dogs. No, just kidding. But yeah, if you could say it was raining cats and dogs, there was some flooding going on. Yeah, it was a heck of a storm that came through. We must have got close to an inch of rain here. But yeah, I got stuck driving it. So, but yeah, it's good. We really needed the rain, and looks like more rain in the forecast for next week. Cooler temperatures. It's like basically the hot part of summer is over here, pretty much. I don't think we'll see upper 80s again, which is kind of unusual here to see upper 80s. Usually the low 80s is usually as hot as we get in the summertime, up here at 9,000 feet. But yeah, it's been an interesting summer. I've noticed some strange things going on this summer, man, about the environment, like my lilac bushes out there, they never produce any flowers this year. Hey, Rhinesy, how you doing? And another thing I noticed is that we have columbines here. There's a flower, which is the state flower of Colorado, the columbine. Also the name of that school that set the standard for the modern day school shooting. But yeah, I haven't seen one columbines this year, Usually I see them all. They're all over the place, man. This summer I have yet to see one columbine. I usually get them in my yard, quite a bit of them. This year, none. It's kind of disturbing, what sometimes they bloom late. I don't know, maybe what the problem is. Why I'm not seeing a lot of the normal wildflowers, not just the columbines, but other wildflowers that grow up here. And like I said, my lilac bushes didn't bloom. So some strange shit there. I don't know if it's the drought that's causing it or other factors that I won't go into too much, but you know what I might be thinking about? Shit in the sky, if you know what I mean. It might be affecting. It sure is, man. It's not just that. Notice a lot of the insect life I'm not seeing. It's quite alarming, really. But yeah, everything going on in the world these days is pretty fucking alarming, man. It's just it's getting worse and worse every day, man. What are you gonna do? Just enjoy as much life as you can for as long as you can, the best that you can, and yeah, hope for the best. But just enjoy what time you have. I say, the way things are going. Hey, Mr. Adams Apple, how you doing? You are here. You am here. Fuck yeah. But yeah, at least we got some rain the last couple of days and more in the forecast. So I believe certain species are becoming extinct. Yes. Or they're just, yeah, I've noticed it. I usually don't notice shit like that, but I just thought to myself the other day, I'm like, it's really weird. I haven't seen one columbine this year growing, they're the state flower of Colorado. They usually grow all over the place. I don't know if it's the dry weather we've had, but it's definitely, I've noticed it. And a lot of insects. Like I haven't seen any grasshoppers. I haven't seen No bees, no yellow jackets. It's really fucking weird, man. Yeah, a lot of the insect. I mean, I barely see any ants, and very few ants walking. And usually, this place is crawling with ants. Sure, I'm not seeing very many ants. So, yeah, it's definitely alarming and frightening. I would say what I'm seeing, and then I've got my suspicions of what is causing it all, and then other species are flourishing. Mostly parasites, mosquitoes and ticks and fleas, blood-sucking vampire insects seem to be doing well. This is from a lot of other people I've been listening to. I actually got a tick on me this year. Hopefully I don't die of freaking tick fever. When you said Columbine, it made me think of the school shooting. Yeah. Of course, that's what most people would think of. But it's one of my favorite flowers. It's a really beautiful flower. And they usually are all over the place here in Colorado, and haven't seen one this year. And I'm being honest. I'm not even making that up. It's very, very, because I usually have a whole patch of them in my yard. They come back every single year. Different parts of my yard, they come back every year. Not this year, man. Yeah. So yeah, there's some crazy stuff going on with the environment. And then, the usual shit keeps happening. People are talking about, surveillance cameras, car spying on you, data centers to store all that data. It's really fucking bizarre, man, how much data they collect on everybody every single day. And they store every single fucking byte of it, man. It's all stored in your file on some data center somewhere. Jorgen Becker, how you doing? Welcome. Yeah, that's what people are talking about these days. And that, and the fucking shit economy that everybody has to try to survive through. It's just getting worse and worse and worse, man. They just keep jacking everything up, man. It's definitely not sustainable, man. Every time I get a bill, they raise the fucking rates. My insurance, taxes, every time, every year, just keeps going up. I mean, it's definitely not made for people to survive through it, man. Mr. Solveson, welcome. Well, yeah, that's what's going on these days, man. It's a challenge. It's called Agenda 2030, and it's rapidly ratcheting up. Put it that way. By 2030, we'll all own nothing and we'll all be happy. And it's going to be before 2030. It looks like they're doing a real good job of it. The crazy thing is they are the ones that need to be under total surveillance. They are the ones. Yeah, I don't like it, man. But you notice the people are starting to fight back a little bit, man. Hearing more and more about people fighting back against surveillance cameras. But they'll just turn around and say, well, if somebody destroys a surveillance camera, that just comes out of the taxpayer's pocket, But, I think if enough people went out there and destroyed enough of them, I'm not saying that to go out and do that. I'm not condoning that behavior, YouTube. But if enough people went out and did it, it would take a lot, because I think right now there's 110,000 of them in the United States. And a lot of people are trying to get rid of their flock cameras, and they're trying to, like these governments saying, we're getting rid of our flock cameras and we're replacing them. They're replacing them with Axon cameras, which are the same camera that, man, I've learned so much about this, the same body cameras that the police use. And they do all the same thing that the flock camera does. But the thing is, they can mount them onto any pole. But I'm sure they could do that with a flock camera too. So the Axon, their big selling point is, well, we can take these cameras and mount them onto any existing streetlight pole without putting a new pole in the ground. So you won't have that cost to add onto it. And, you know, they won't be able to take them down as easy because they're mounted to a streetlight pole. So, yeah, I guess the only way you'd have to do it, you'd have to get a big ladder, climb up there, and just basically chop the thing off or whatever you want to do to it. Yeah, it's, you know, it's frightening doing that shit. You know, you're really taking a big chance doing that, you know. I'm sure they don't go easy on people that they catch destroying their precious flock cameras. It is interesting that they use the term flock, right? I find that kind of amusing. They got to watch the flock. Basically saying that the people are sheep and we got to keep an eye on them with our flock camera. And they got another one. It's a flock camera, but it's called some bird, man. Some big old bird, a condor or something like that. And it spies on, it's like it comes in a round thing and it moves, it articulates up and down, back, and it follows people when they go by, just watches them, everything they do, you know, recording everything, facially identifying them. But the people at Flock say, no, we do not trace people. But then there's video evidence of the thing following people as it walks by, you know. And they also found out that these things are being used as webcams. They're putting out a signal to the internet, and anybody can go on there and watch it without a password. It's fucking insane, man, what they're doing with this shit. And that people are getting tired of it, you know. I mean, it's all just one big surveillance state fucking nightmare, man. Everything ties together, man. Cameras, phones, they track you with your cell phone. They pretty much, you know, I've heard a lot of people say that they actually every photo that you put in your phone, they can see it, and they keep copies of it. Everything, man. It's really bizarre, man, how much data that they really want to keep on every single person in the world, at least in the United States. It's probably worse than China ever thought of being. Yeah. That's what people are talking about these days. Those are the big topics. The Super El Nino coming, man. Is this the beginning of it, what we're seeing now? We're seeing some bit of moisture coming through, cooler weather. I think it might be because, yeah, I've seen, you know, images of the South Pacific there where the El Nino develops. And yeah, it's really heating up. It's been heating up all summer. And now it's like glowing red, you know, it's like really, really hot down there. So it's starting to become really active, I guess. And yeah, we'll see. I think luckily all those hurricanes from that area, I think they usually go off to the east or to the west. So we don't usually get hurricanes and shit from it, but like over in China and Japan and in Asia and shit, they get a lot of, they call them typhoons. They're probably going to get a lot of typhoons coming up here in the next month or two. So it's like the peak of hurricane season. I've heard nothing about hurricanes this year in the United States. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, it seems like things are just out of whack, man. Everything's fucking wildlife, insect life, flowers. I haven't seen them. So crazy shit, man. What's going on? Hopefully it's just the dry weather we're having. Next year when we get some moisture, it'll all come back to normal. We'll see. So what else is going on this week, man, besides all that horse shit? What do you guys know about? I got some news stories here. This week's news. What major global and national stories this week include escalating tensions surrounding the U.S. conflict with Iran. Escalating tensions, imagine that. Highlighted by revelations of covert plane swap for President Trump following missile threat reports. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt's announced departure and a federal judge blocking Postal Service mail and voting limits. Crazy. Imagine that. Escalating tensions surrounding U.S. conflict with Iran. Intelligence warnings of a potential shoulder-fired missile threat prompted Secret Service change for President Trump. Exiting a NATO summit while Iran elevated hard-line military veteran. So what? Trump's afraid they're going to shoot down his plane? Let's see. Voting rights for Ebola outbreak. Oh, shit. The World Health Organization reported that the ongoing Ebola outbreak is tracking to be the deadliest on record with over 2,000 deaths. Ah, shit. Here we go. Ah, damn. Here we go again. There was a tsunami. Tell me more about the tsunami. A powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake struck off the coast of eastern Indonesia, Flores region, early Saturday morning, triggering landslides, causing localized tsunami waves, and killing at least 47 people. Damn. Those are some of the stories that are going on this week. Have you heard these data centers are emitting methane gas aside from all the other nefarious shit, water contamination, etc., etc., etc.? Methane gas. How the fuck do they emit methane gas? One thing I have heard is that all that water getting heated up, it causes bacteria to grow in it, and shit like what do they call it? Parkinson's disease or something? I'm not sure. But yeah, there's a disease that people were getting from hotel like air conditioning units because they would draw all that hot air into the cooling unit, and then when it cools off, it takes that hot air and like exchanges it with, I'm not sure exactly how it all works, but in the process, it creates moisture, right, from the air, from the moisture in the air. That moisture collects in there and it gets hot. And bacteria starts to grow in there, and then that's how this. It was called Legionnaire's disease. That's what it was. People were getting sick from breathing the air out of that air conditioning unit. It was called Legionnaire's disease, and I heard that these data centers creating some shit like that from all that heat exchange in water and heating up the water, and shit grows in it. Maybe that could somehow emit methane gas. I think methane gas is a byproduct of like basically breaking down of biological matter, breaks it down, and one of the products is gas. It's like basically when you eat your food has gas in it, but it's just like changed into matter basically. But when you digest that food, it releases that gas again back into your bowels, which comes out as a nice relieving fart. Yeah, that's interesting how that works. You know what I always thought was weird, with the whole digestion thing, like, how do I eat this delicious food that I'm eating? Well, not lately, but I have eaten a lot of delicious food in my life. And how does it take that wonderful food that I'm eating and turn it into that shit? It kind of blows my mind. How does our body take good food and turn it into shit? And shit is really strange stuff too. Shit is strange shit. If you just get a little bit of shit on you, man, everybody can smell it. Shitty. That's where everything, the term shitty comes from. But yeah, so I don't know what process a data center could go through to make it produce methane gas. I'll have to look into that. It sounds very interesting. Crunchy B, how you doing? Nice to see you. Methane gas may be coming from the generators. Generators? They don't have generators. They suck their energy off of the grid. Maybe some of them have generators, but I think most of them pull their power right off our grid and then charge the people more money for electricity. That's how I heard it worked. But yeah, I'm sure some data centers might have their own generators. Maybe they run off natural gas. I'm sure there's a byproduct of that. There are a lot of these new ones that they're building. They're building them with their own built-in nuclear fucking generator, nuclear power plant. I don't know. That's really interesting, But yeah, whatever it is, man, fucking data centers, man. It's a nightmare, man. You could have thought 30 years ago, 20, 30 years ago that this is what the world would be 2026. Fuck no. I knew it was going to get bad, but I didn't know it was going to get this fucking weird. Look. On one hand, on the other hand, I'm surprised we're still alive in 2026. But barely. We got a few more years left for 2030. It's coming up real fast, man. It seems like they're really putting the final touches on Agenda 2030 right now. They want to have it all into place before 2030. I think next year, man, it's going to be. That's what we say every year, right? Next year is going to be, oh my God. And it's true. A lot. Seems like every year is exponentially worse than the year before. So yeah, it's interesting. On one hand, I can't wait to see what happens. On the other hand, I'm fucking deadly tired of this whole situation, man. Struggling with it. Just watching, every time I go to the store, just fucking cutting back, I don't need that anymore. I can live without that. I'll keep wearing these same old shoes. Where are those shoes? I'll show you. Look at that. Look at that. You see those holes in them shoes? You can't really see, the light's no good. But yeah. I bought these shoes like last summer, like over a year ago. They still got some good tread on them. They're starting to wear out in the heel. But yeah, these are some shoes I bought at Walmart for $35 about a year ago. It probably cost you $50 today. And I'm still wearing them. I don't give a fuck. They still work. But yeah, well, they do get kind of wet. My feet get wet if I have to walk through some water. And sometimes I'll get, I'll get pebbles that go through the holes. You see, we get a pebble in my shoe. Fuck it. But if I really need a decent shoes to wear, I still got these old work boots. Can wear those. These are like 5-6 years old. I haven't worn them much because they're tight on my feet, but they still got very little tread. So yeah, they're no good in snow and ice or any other. They're pretty. You got to be careful walking in these shoes. They don't have much tread on them, but fuck it, I'm gonna keep wearing them. I'm gonna keep wearing these shoes as long as I can, man. Before I buy new ones. Fuck it. I'm in that revolution now. They call it the buy nothing revolution. There was a time when I always had to look nice. I always had to have nice new clothes. I don't give a fuck about it anymore. I wouldn't be caught dead wearing some shoes like that. Events fully took place at a synagogue earlier today. I don't know. What the fuck is a synagogue, man? Is that a Hebrew church or something? Let's see. Other major stories. Let's see. We have tsunamis, earthquakes. It's funny because I remember learning back in the early 2000s about this thing called HAARP. And they back then it was on the History Channel or the Discovery Channel, and they showed exactly how they could hit a frequency that would cause an earthquake to happen. But now they would just deny it, wouldn't they? It's where the tiny hats worship. I thought that was thought there was another name for that. Temple. No, that's where the monks go to worship. The synagogue. The synagogue of Satan. I've heard that term before. Did I just say the S word? Oops. My bad. In my imagination, it was true. But it could be there, Just to stage something like that, They love staging shit like that to get sympathy for the tiny hats. Oh, these evil people in the world, they love fucking sympathy. They love to play the victim card. That's how they do, man. They're always the victim, man. The most evil people on the planet are always the victim. They always play the victim card. Poor me, poor me. My mom used to say, rich people like to cry poor mouth. That's how my mom put it. Because she was a nurse, and she was like a private nurse, So she would take care of rich people at their houses. And she would tell me, man, the richest people that she worked for were the most miserable, horrible people. And I know that because I've worked for some rich people too. And they are, man. They're miserable, and they're just horrible people, man. Not all of them, but most of the ones I've worked around. And they're never satisfied with anything. Nothing, they're just horrible people, man. By and by. They're very picky. They want every fucking little thing they can get for their precious fucking money. They want as much as your fucking blood as they can get for their precious fucking money. Your blood, sweat, and tears. Whereas, for a lot of people that weren't that wealthy, and they were some really nice people, man, that were just, normal middle-class people that just wanted some work done. And they always paid better too. Because they understand. They could put themselves in your shoes, because because they have to work for a living too. Not called hospice care. No, hospice care is where people go to die. Private nurse is like someone that goes to a person's house and takes care of them in their own house. You know, just like rich people that hire a nurse to come and wipe their ass for them or whatever, because they're fucking too lazy to fucking wipe their own ass, or they're incapable of it, you know. But they're wealthy, so they don't have to go. They don't have to go to a hospice because they can afford to hire people to come and wipe their ass for them, basically. Hospice care is a place where they send you when there's no treatment. There's no more treatment for you. You're got so much time left to live, and you know they're not going to do anything for you. They're just going to, you know, meet your basic needs. You know, take care of you. Will, you know, give you food and water, and you know, clean you up until you actually finally die. That's what hospice is. Which is, yeah, that sucks. That's a whole different thing. But yeah, I couldn't do it, man, work in the healthcare industry. My God. See people dying every day, you know. God damn. I mean, I don't even like going into hospitals to visit people, man, you know. You know, you got to, but it's just a depressing place to be. And you know, you got a good chance of catching something in a hospital more than any other place on the planet. You know, there's more. That's where people with diseases are, is in the hospital. So you're like 100% more likely to catch a disease in a hospital than anywhere else. Have you heard hospitals are now participating in euthanasia? I don't know about here. I know they are in Canada. They're probably doing it here too. They're just not really talking about it as much as they do, as it's like wide open in Canada, man. Where people go in there and like, man, I don't know, man. I'm crazy. You know, I'm having all these problems with life, and I can't seem to find a job. You know, why don't you just kill yourself, man? I shouldn't have said that. Why don't you just unalive yourself? I keep forgetting. You gotta watch what you say here. But yeah, why don't you just euthanize yourself? They're, you know, these are people that are perfectly healthy. They're just having a hard time in life. You can look it up, man. It's a fact. I'm not making it up, man. It's actual pro, and they've killed a lot. I mean, they've unalived a lot of people there. People just with normal everyday problems, maybe some slight health problems, but mostly mental problems. They want to unalive people who have mental problems. And, you know, their really only mental problem is that they can't fucking survive in this fucking economy. And or they have issues with authority or something. That's a mental issue. Now, if you have a problem with authority now, it's a diagnosed illness now. You don't want to do what you're told. That's a mental illness. Yeah. And then they want to unalive people for that. Well, we can help you. We can help you die painlessly, and then all your problems will be over with. That's true. I wish I was making it up, but you know, this population ain't gonna fucking reduce itself. It's like when I was a kid, I said, well, how come you're going out? How come you go out every night looking for women and shit? I say, because my dick's not going to suck itself, God damn it. Well, yeah, that's where we're at, man. And it's just going to spread. It's going to get bigger and bigger in the United States too, I think, and more accepted, and laws, legislation passed on it, if it's not already been done. But they just don't talk about it here in the United States as much, but in Canada, it's like kind of like wide out in the open. In other places in the world, I've heard like some places like in Sweden or something like that, there's a machine that you can go into, and it just snuffs you out, man. It's a chamber, and like anybody can go and use it, basically. Yeah, I've heard of that one too. I think some parts and places in Europe have these things. Anybody can go over there and go inside and do the deed. Supposedly it's painless. Who knows, right? You're going to ask a dead body, how did that feel? But, at least they're giving people that option, right? Because they're surely making life unfucking bearable for people. Sadly. Well, yeah, that's where we are, man. Let's see. What the hell else is going on this week? So some morbid conversations we're going, but, it's just, that's just what's going on, man. It's just the reality of the world today. I'd like to talk about more pleasant things, really. Oh, here we go. What's going on in my neighborhood? You guys don't want to hear this. Fair warning, I am feeding the wildlife. Oh, shit. You're not allowed to feed wildlife, man. It's against the law. Would you agree anxiety and depression are not mental illnesses? They are appropriate responses for living in a sick world. Yeah. Definitely agree with that. People that are fine are the ones with a mental illness. People that think everything is just peachy keen and they just can't get enough of it. Yeah, those are the ones with a mental illness. People with depression and anxiety are being normal humans. If you don't have depression and anxiety today, man, you're fucking sick in the head. You're on some good medication. That's all it is. It's just you're lacking medication, sir. Let us give you some tender, loving medication, and you'll feel better. I promise. Just take one of these pills every day, or one before breakfast and one before dinner, or after breakfast, after dinner, whatever. Yeah, I remember back in the day, back in the early 2000s, this guy I used to work for, man. Really cool guy, man. But he was having problems with anger and issues and shit, He was getting, he would get all pissed off and shit. Like he went and seen a psychiatrist or whatever, and they put him on some pills. And I remember him telling me, man, he's like, "Oh man, I'm so happy now that they put me on those pills, man. I can't get mad if I wanted to anymore, man. Nothing makes me mad anymore." And like, I was like, well, that's cool, man. But now I'm like, shit, dude. They were just destroying his fucking mind. I don't know what pills he was on, but somebody probably knows what pill makes you so you cannot get mad at anything. But it destroys your fucking brain, man. It turns you into a zombie. And then all of a sudden you stop taking those pills and you just can't function. I mean, if I could talk to that guy with what I know now, I would say, no, dude, don't do it, man. deal with your anger issues on your own. Don't take medication. But I didn't know back then. I was just dumb back in them days, man. Just dumber than I am now, but yeah. I just didn't give a shit about nothing back in them days, I didn't follow current events. I didn't care what was going on. But that's when I started. He was one of the people that woke me up to what was really going on. And because I never questioned anything till one day he said, yeah, man, George Bush did that thing that happened in September, And I was like, what? Wow. He's like, oh, yeah, you didn't know that? Yeah, there's all kinds of people online talking about, because I didn't have the internet back in them days. And that's when I first got my first idea about the true nature of what happened in 2001. Before that, I didn't question. I thought it was, those motherfuckers attacked us. We got to go to war with them. I believed the whole thing. Probably alters brain chem. Yeah, it was cool working for the guy because now he wouldn't yell at me anymore. I could fuck something all up and he would be like, it's okay. We'll fix it tomorrow. Let's go home and have a beer. I don't know. I think he had to quit drinking too or something. Yeah. He was a cool guy. He was like chew tobacco and shit. Yeah, I never understood that. I tried chewing tobacco a few times. Never got any satisfaction out of chewing tobacco. I don't get the allure of it. Hey, Senor Davey boy, what's happening? We finally got a moderator in the house. Thank God. But yeah, they want to put everybody on it's the same kind of drugs that they give kids. When I was a kid, it wasn't a thing, man. Thank God. But it was like the generation after me, they started putting them all on medication. Medication. I hate using air quotes, but medication. Yeah. And I noticed that, man. A lot of friends of mine, their kids, my kid's he has to take these pills because he's got ADD, ADHD. So we give him Ritalin and that whole generation is fucked. And I think they're still giving it to kids. But I know a lot of these people, when they grew up to be adults, man, they couldn't function in society whatsoever. It was just, a lot of them went from those drugs that they put them on into other drugs. As they grew up, they became opioid addicts. And a lot of them are dead now, honestly. A lot of them didn't make it, man. They overdosed on fucking fentanyl or something. Fent. It wasn't a thing when I was a kid. There was no such thing as fent. Tobacco might be okay, but you got to carry a spittoon. Nice to see you, Lee Freeman. But yeah, but no, it doesn't. It does a lot of damage to your gums and your teeth, chewing tobacco. So does smoking cigarettes, but way worse. People that chew tobacco for like 20 years, they're going to lose their teeth. Big deal. Teeth Schmeeth. I used to worry about losing teeth, but fuck it, I don't care anymore. They got new dentures now you can buy on the internet. You just dunk them in hot water and they fit right in your fucking mouth. And they're a lot cheaper than dental implants. Yep. That's what's going on. August 2026. But yeah, kids went back to school last week. Poor buggers. God, I feel bad about that. This whole school indoctrination camp. It's so. I hated it so much as a child. I'm sure it's just a lot worse than it was when I was a kid. It was bad enough back then. I mean, it was bad. I hated it. But I'm sure it's way worse now for these poor fucking kids. So I'm not happy about the kids going back to school, man. I think every kid should just learn off the internet at home. No, they got to go be indoctrinated. It's basically teaching them to be a good fucking slave. That's what school's all about. I was always in trouble when I was a kid, man, in school. I don't know. I just knew in my mind that this shit is fucked up somehow. But one good thing, I missed a lot of school as a kid. I was good at getting out of going to school. Come from a single mom family. My mom didn't have time to fucking watch everything we did. She had to work to support us. God bless her. But yeah, I was able to slip through the cracks a lot as a kid because we moved around a lot. Never really had a stable home when I was a kid. We moved around and apartment to apartment, different parts of the fucking city or whatever. And so, yeah, I was able to fucking skip out of a lot of school, man. I'm proud of that. I'm proud that I never graduated from high school. A lot of people say, you never graduated from high school. You're a failure. I might be a failure, but I never graduated from high school. That's for damn sure. I dropped in the 10th grade and I quit going to school in the 10th grade. Fuck this, man. They can't make me go, man. Every time they drop me off in front of this school, I'm going to fucking run. I'm not going. I hated it that fucking much. But I was able to get out of it. After they tried everything, man. They tried so hard to keep me. And now, look at me now. See? Dropped out of high school, never went to college. And look at me. Okay, maybe I'm not the best example. But there's a lot of billionaires out there that fucking never graduated from high school. And a lot of people that did and went to college are fucking struggling. Can't find a job. Even though they have a degree. Even they maybe have a bachelor's degree or I don't know. I don't know degrees. I looked it up. What is a bachelor's degree? It's just basic knowledge about a certain type of subject. I don't know. It's just the basic. It's not like a specialist. It's just like a generalist, basically. But then you get your master's degree, right? Then you master one subject. But yeah, that's what happened here in August 2026. Before you know it, it's going to be September. It's going to be another month, another set of bills to pay. Oh, don't you love being a human? Like those aliens say, what I find fascinating? Humans, they have to pay to live on a planet they evolved on. They all start laughing. No other animal on Earth has to pay to live. Most people don't ever think about it. Only us stupid fucking humans have to pay to fucking exist. Not all of us, but most of us. The ones that don't pay to exist, you know, they have a real tough life. Even the ones that do pay to exist have a tough fucking life. But, you know, if you're living on the streets, you know, begging for money, whatever you got to do, you're just doing drugs, you got to find a way to pay for your drugs. Ugh. What a fucking world, huh? Why did my parents have to fuck? I could have been a free soul floating through the universe, but no, my parents had to fuck. And now I'm stuck in this fucking nightmare. It's all their fucking fault. They didn't have to fuck. They didn't get horny and fuck. I wouldn't be suffering through this. God damn it. They're dead and gone, but I'm still suffering. That's the trick that they played on us, man. They made people horny so they would create more people to suffer longer, to extend the suffering. But no, it's not awesome. I've had a lot of fun in life. I'm not going to lie. A lot of good memories. It's not all bad, but there's a lot of bad. You know, the bad definitely outweighs the good. I think for most people, right? Most people have more bad memories than they do good memories. Sadly, maybe I'm wrong about that. Because, you know, a lot of people don't tend to remember bad things. You know, try to let that shit release out of your memory, you know. So yeah, what's your drug of choice? You know, I like to drink, man. And that's the worst fucking. That's the worst drug of all. If you ask any person that knows, they'll tell you, alcohol is the most destructive drug in the world. It destroys it because it's more acceptable. You know, more people get involved with alcohol. You know, compared to people that get involved with other hard drugs like heroin. In fact, you know, more and more people use alcohol. More people use alcohol than any other drug, right? Because it's socially acceptable. And you can have as much as you want. It's not illegal, but it does more damage than any other drug. It's fucking crazy how our world works. Why do we make the most destructive drug in the world perfectly legal? You can have as much of it as you want. You can have a whole fucking basement full of liquor. It's perfectly legal. But you can only have 1 ounce of marijuana. You have more than 1 ounce of marijuana, that's bad. You can only grow 3 plants at a time. You can only have 1 ounce. So yeah, cannabis is not fucking legal. Alcohol is legal. Perfectly, 100% legal alcohol is. Cannabis is quasi-legal. Fake legal. Because if it was legal, you'd be able to have as much as you want. You'd be able to grow as much as you want. Why is that? Why won't they let you grow? Because that would put them out of business. That would make the purpose of legalizing cannabis not profitable for them. They didn't decriminalize cannabis so you could create your own supply and not pay taxes to them. I don't know, but I don't smoke as much cannabis as I used to, man. So it doesn't affect me that bad, but I think a lot of people don't, man. I think a lot of people have cut back, you know. But still, yeah, a lot of people use it, and they make a lot of money off it. But if they catch you growing more than 3 plants, and having more than 1 ounce, you're a criminal. Not fucking, isn't that shitty? But you can have as much alcohol as you want. And you can even produce your own beer if you want. Or you can distill your own liquor. It's perfectly legal. And it's the most destructive drug known to mankind is alcohol. Make that shit make sense. That's one of those things people like to say nowadays. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Because none of it doesn't. It doesn't matter if it makes sense as long as it benefits the people in control of the world. They'll tell you the most crazy, backwards, upside down fucking bullshit that you've ever heard. This makes no sense whatsoever. Hey, Jason S. Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, we're just solving the world's problems like we do every week, right? That's what we do here, man. We solve the problems of the world 1 week at a time. Yeah, right. But man, they keep creating more problems. They created problems faster than I can solve them, man. You know, they just now I know. I kind of know how God feels, right? How can I keep solving all these people's problems? It's ridiculous. It's like trying to solve the problems of a fucking colony of rats. No, I don't call the human race a colony of rats, but it is similar. No, rats are smarter than. I got more respect for rats. No, not really, just kidding. But that's a big part of what I do these days is get rid of mice and rats. Because, man, once you get an infestation of them things, man, they just never, it's like, where do they keep coming from? Not in my house, but this person I know, he's got an infestation of mice and rats. And it's really tough to deal with. But yeah. Fucking crazy situation we're in. Hey, what else is going on this week? Oh man, I lost my page. Damn it. Fuck it. Bucket. Oh, there we go. The Indonesia earthquake and tsunami. Damn, that just happened this morning. More seismic activity. More, yeah. A lot of earthquakes going on, man. Crazy. And the Super El Nino. Super El Nino! Coming to a country near you, I should say. We'll see. We'll see what happens with the super. Man, so far we've had a couple good monsoon flows coming through. Like 2 weeks ago, we had a monsoon come through and we got a lot of rain. And now we're having another monsoon come through. And it's getting some heavy downpours. But see, that doesn't really help too much. You know, it's just those super heavy downpours, they just cause damage and wash away. What you need is like, consistent rain, not these super fucking deluges, like we had yesterday. We had some pretty good rainstorm today, but nothing like yesterday. And yesterday we had, oh man, it was gnarly. I got caught driving in it, man. Fuck. It was so bad I could hardly see where I was going. My windshield wipers going as fast as they can. You know, and I'm just trying to stay on, and the road is just filling up with water. Like, goddamn, I hope I don't get washed off the fucking road here. The only time I could really see what was going on is when, like, the guy in front of me would hit his brakes, and I could see his taillights. We get some wicked storms up here sometimes. Oh, yeah. Nice to see everybody here tonight. Jason Lee, Davey Boy, Rhinesy. Haven't seen Senor Dirte in a while. Jorgen Becker in the house. Mr. Adams Apple. Who's the only person I forgot to mention? Crunchy Bee. Yeah. Oh, and Eric Salveson was here. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully Joe Dirt's doing all right. Haven't seen him in a few weeks now. I know he just got a new fishing boat. So hopefully he's out there having the time of his life in his new fishing boat. Just fishing up a storm, catching the greatest fish he's ever caught in his life. You know, I started getting empathy for fish, man. How could a human have empathy for fish? They're just animals that swim around in the water and they like eat each other, you know? They don't have empathy for each other. Why the fuck should humans have empathy for them? Yeah, I think that's how people can do that. Just they don't give a fuck about fish. So it's easy to catch them and kill them and cook them and eat them. Because if you don't do it, another fish will. So yeah, I think it's a whole different mindset if you're a fish. You know, it's like eat or be eaten, or it's eat and be eaten. So yeah, it's always a reality of life as a fish that sooner or later you're going to get eaten. If you really think about it, it's kind of interesting. You know, you just swim around eating other fish, hoping that another fish doesn't eat them. I don't know. It would be interesting if you could just like go into the mind of another animal just for like a few minutes, just to see what it's really like to be that animal, what's really going through their mind. You know, fish is like, I gotta kiss, I gotta eat, but I don't want to get eaten. There's always something trying to eat me, and I'm always trying to eat that smaller fish. I found out something really interesting about like killer whales, orcas. The reason why they never attack people, they will not attack humans at all. It's pretty interesting. But, they just don't waste time on something that they don't see as a food source. So they don't see a human as it doesn't. They use sonar and bounce it off of you, and like, yeah, that's nothing I want to eat. You know, they will play with humans. The only orcas that kill people are captive ones. You know, like the ones in the killer whale shows. I don't even know if they have any anymore. I don't think they should keep any animal in captivity, but especially an orca, man. You know, An animal that's made to swim around the oceans of the world, and you're gonna keep it in a little tiny fucking swimming pool? I don't blame them for killing people. I wish they would kill more people. But yeah, fuck yeah. But people out in the ocean have never been killed by an orca. They'll swim right up to you, but never aggressively. Like a shark will fucking kill you. A shark will fucking bite you in half and spit you out, man. Ew, that's nasty. Why the fuck? Ugh, God, who would want to eat that? And that's why a lot of people get bit by a shark, but the shark won't eat them because it's not what they're human. They're meant to eat like sea lions, and humans are just nasty. Nothing wants to eat a human, man. No animal in the world wants to eat a filthy fucking human, because humans stink, man. It's a fact. Because we wear clothing and shit, and it causes body odor and all that shit. Animals are disgusted by humans. Yep. But anyways, yeah, that's what I got tonight, man. So I'm going to wrap it up, man. Thanks everybody for stopping by, and love you guys.